welcome back. So we're still watching our budget. We're glam gals, we're always gonna watch the budget. And again, we recently stayed at the Grand Hyatt Manchester in San Diego, California. And I'm gonna show you the room. There'll be somewhere, if I figure out the editing, where the hotel will be and the room and all of the good things. But what did we actually get for our money with a price tag, a sticker price over $800? And would I stay here again? So first, starting out, we walked into this beautiful, luxurious lobby. It was absolutely huge. I felt like I was walking into a grand castle or temple in Dubai, and the floors look marble, high ceilings, and to greet us as we checked in was an amazing, hospitable staff. They were kind, they took our luggage and just had smiles on their faces, which for me is one of the selling points of staying at the Grand Hyatt at Manchester. Now, upon getting our luggage, they took our luggage, we went upstairs, we had our own elevator, which was like penthouse, chef's kiss. Great, I love that. So you put in your digital card, you go up to, we were on the 30th plus floor, and that was wonderful. So you're not beautiful. So I'll get into that in a minute. So yes, our view. Was that a selling point for me? I'm gonna give it a couple of stars, 0 out of 5. The view was definitely a 5. Now, would I pay $800 a night for that view? Well, let's see. And then you tell me, would you, in the comments, just go down below and say, is it worth it? Is it not? Mind you, so don't forget that. So now the room in the hotel is placed directly on the waterfront. So that means you have access to a plethora of restaurants. Whatever your taste buds were craving, you had it, whether it was Asian food or Italian or Mexican or seafood, which I was dying to try because personally, I don't eat seafood here in the desert. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's no ocean, there's no lake, so I'm not eating the shrimp. It's just, how long has it been freezer packed? And it's just probably something mental, but it's not happening with me. So you definitely have the convenience. You don't have to pay, quote unquote, for parking. We did get valet parking at $75 a day. That I did not learn until after I got home is that that hotel was filled with pools, pickleball courts, fitness centers, outdoor movie theater, a buffet styled breakfast on the 33rd floor. So I was just a button and a push walk away from having an amazing breakfast, and not the continental style that you have at the Hyatt House or the La Quinta Inn, where they give you a blueberry and muffins and protein and fiber. So this is my vacation, and I wanted something good to eat. When I was craving, I got blueberry pancakes. They were amazing. They tasted farm fresh, literally farm to table. The blueberries were fresh. The pancakes were nice and thick. And we could have shared, they gave us 4 huge pancakes where one family could have shared one box. But because I have boys, everyone got their own. I finished one and a half of pancake. And then one night, later on, I was craving it and I finished the other. They had bacon, hickory smoked, also tasted as though it was organic. No, processed nitrates in the bacon. The eggs were amazing. The boys, they also got bacon, eggs, and their home fries or potatoes. They tasted like my grandmother had made them from the South. They were perfect. So again, breakfast was amazing, but here's the caveat. Breakfast was $230 for in-room. And I don't know if it's FFs, just a step away is the USS Midway Museum, and it's this air flight carrier that fought in World War II, but also has great history on the US fighting in the Vietnam War. So if you're with your family and you don't, have little kids and strollers and all those things, that's when you may want to pay for that extra little price in a high-end hotel. So all in all, for dinner, we stayed at Sally's Hotel. Now, Sally's was absolutely beautiful, again on the waterfront, right next to yachts, sailboats. People were walking by, just sightseeing, and it had amazing ambiance. And for someone who loves the Bay Area and comes from California, I took that for granted for years and years that the whole world was like this, and come to find out that no, it's not. Everywhere is not as beautiful as the beautiful San Francisco boys had. Truffle fries, surf and turf. I did steak a shrimp from my husband's plate. The shrimp was amazing. Fresh, no overt like seafood smell, just exactly what I would expect from a restaurant that had access to the Pacific Ocean. So that was great. The truffle fries, they looked amazing. I didn't try any. The steak was very lean. My boys didn't prefer it, but knowing California lifestyle, and people tend to be, to say that everyone in California is super health conscious, but it was a very lean steak. And in hindsight, I probably would have had the surf and turf if I could do it again. So their meal looked great. It was decorated wonderful. And again, the wait staff, I would give them, 5. My meal, however, the broccolini was wonderful, fresh, butter, garlic, not too much of any butter or garlic, but the crab cake, it tasted as though it had been freezer burned. My sons tried it. They said it was perfect, probably one of the best they had. So I don't know, maybe, just didn't taste right to me. I have no idea what was going on. So when we got the bill, which was surprising, our meal altogether was $200. So a lot cheaper than our breakfast. And so would I stay at Sally's and dine there again? Absolutely. If nothing else, for the ambiance and to ensure that I could spend time with Heidi and not, go back to the hotel room, or we were eating like a bag lunch, which would have been great too, but it was so nice to sit, take in the sights, be around people, and you just, sights and the beautiful breeze. And as the sun came down, the breeze came, it reminded me of so many beautiful memories of living by the bay and having that, evening shift of the fog coming in and then it going out and cooling down. Was just stunning. So that also, I would want my husband and I to go. I think that 3 to 5 days or 4 days away from our kiddos and Heidi, that would have been a great place. Walk around, go to some shops, dining, and it would have been absolutely beautiful. So based on what I've told you and what our budget has come up to, we checked out and we got an of $1,800. No lie, no cap. For parking, which is $75. Our nightly rate, including expenses and all the taxes that they apply. And remember, we also had to tip every bellboy, luggage person, someone who helped us with the elevator, and then a beautiful dinner at Sally's. For a special occasion, but in all honesty, for that rate, I could have booked a beautiful home on a private beach at an Airbnb, but it was still, and I'm very grateful that we could partake in this, business trip. And it was a blessing for our family. So you let me know. We have a price tag of over $2,000 for just one night and 2 days of respite, a dinner, a breakfast, and a visit to the USS Midway Museum. And that does not include that as well. So we're close to $3,000 for just a weekend getaway. And let me know, we could stay out if you know budget deals. I'm always, here how to stretch my dollar and get more bang for my buck. Okay, so in our next video, I have some great stuff coming for you. I know I've been putting off fall and not wanting to talk about fall things, but it is here. I digress. We're halfway through August, and I'm going to talk to you about fall accessories, fall trends, and what you can expect. And you tell me, what are you looking for most about fall?